All right, we are on Facebook Live. I just wanted to say hello from Student Employment Services. My name is Genesis Lestrella. You can't see me just yet, but I wanted to, oh, maybe you can. But I wanted to say hello and welcome you to our first ever Facebook Live Employer Spotlight. I am going to give us just a few moments, let a few folks join us today, and definitely wanted to thank Bartell Hotels and our representatives from the organization for coming and trying this new modality with us. We are excited to have you here and excited to learn all about the opportunities that your organization has and how our students can become involved with Bartell Hotels. So we're just going to give it just a couple moments and see and give students an opportunity to join us on Facebook Live. All right. So thank you again for being with us today. We are really looking forward to speaking with our representatives today, and we look forward to sharing the opportunities that are available to you in the hospitality and culinary industries. And so with that, I want to introduce Stephanie Brislin from Bartell Hotels, and she'll be telling us a little bit about herself and her team that is joining her today.
Hi, everyone. Genesis, thanks so much for the introduction. My name is Stephanie, and I am representing Bartell Hotels. And I am here with my team as part of the recruiting committee for Bartell Hotels. We are each representing the company as well as our own individual hotels that we work from. So I am located at the Island Palms in Point Loma. And then my colleague Stephanie Bradley is located at the Hilton Harbor Island. I think that's also considered Point Loma, across from the airport. And then we have Lindsay Wishart, and she is my colleague at the Dana Inn in Mission Bay. And sitting with her is Chef Rodney. So we look forward to hearing more from him here shortly.
Great, thank you so much, Stephanie. Would you mind taking a moment and introducing us to Bartell Hotels? What makes the hotel group different from the rest of the hotels in the hospitality industry, particularly here in San Diego?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll share, and then if my colleagues also have input that they would like to provide, but really what speaks out to me is that it's a family business. And we mean that as in it is a family owned and operated business. Was started by Lee Bartell back in the 70s. But also, excuse me, it is like a family here. And many of the employees have been with the company for decades. I myself have been here for 10 years, but there are many more who have been here longer, 20, 30, 40 years. So I think that speaks a lot to the company and how they value their employees. And, you know, the dedication to one another as a partnership to sustain that longevity of employment. I'm not sure if Stephanie or Lindsay have anything further they would like to add on that note.
I wasn't sure if Stephanie was going to jump in there, but I know some of us have worked in more corporate settings or hotels that are managed, that might be owned by one company and managed by another company. And there's a lot of, there's just a lot of red tape to go through. So it's really an advantage to be able to work directly for the owners. Like there isn't a middleman, there isn't a bunch of things getting in your way and extra processes that aren't necessarily necessary. Like it's just, we're reporting straight to the owner. And I've worked in the opposite of that. And I really appreciate where I am now.
A little bit more about the company and what we offer to employees. We have a really great health insurance program that covers medical, dental, vision. We also have a very nice 401k plan where you can pick and choose who you'd like to contribute to and what fund that it makes most sense for you. We also have paid sick time, paid vacation, and paid holidays. In addition to that, the most benefit everybody's looking for is, of course, the discounted travel benefit that includes hotels and attraction parks and any type of entertainment really that goes along the lines with hospitality. There's even discounts for different food and beverage establishments as well that we partner with. So a lot of perks and benefits to working in hospitality, and that's definitely one of the biggest ones there.
That's awesome. I might have to be changing industries.
Or just get a friend that works there and get on their plan.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that insight. I'd like to hear a little bit more about the job opportunities you currently have available. I know our students are actively looking for work and looking to get experience in their fields, particularly in culinary and in hospitality. And so would love to hear about what you have available right now and how can our students apply.
Yeah, absolutely. I will start this one off. We currently, as of right now, have 62 job openings throughout the company. There are many, many, many entry-level jobs. So if you do not have experience in hospitality and are looking for a new opportunity, or you'd like to gain experience while you're also going to school, that is a wonderful way to get your foot in the door. That being said, we do have many positions. I will go ahead and drop the link too of where you can go and look at each one of those. And then you would apply based on which hotel is more, convenient to your location or where you see yourself being a good fit. But I was also hoping that Chef Rodney might be able to elaborate on, positions specific to the kitchen and, our availability and what those look like.
Well, thank you. My name's Rodney Robinson. I'm the executive chef of the Dana Hotel on Mission Bay here in San Diego, California. One of our operations is unique. It's the Firefly Restaurant. We do coastal Southern California cuisine with American twist to it. So a lot of the positions we have available, it's cooks with upward mobility. That means me as a culinary department head will train the individuals that's in the kitchen, will develop them and mentor them and up into succession plans, because some people do move up and move out. And we want to make sure that everybody in the culinary field, it's my obligation to put forth the training and the developing of all culinarians, not just for the Bartell Hotel Company, but that too, but for every culinarian. So we have a portfolio of chefs in our operations, from the Hilton, from the Island Palm. We have multiple hotels. We have talented chefs that's teaching and developing up and coming culinarians. So we welcome you guys and ladies and gentlemen to come and join our team. We give you training, development, mentorship. You can even do your apprenticeship program, which I did years ago with the Westin Hotel, Starwood. So I've been around, and for me to talk about Bartell Hotel Company, since I'm a short termer. We have creativity. You know, me as a chef in other hotels and the corporate hotels, I didn't have the creativity that Bartell Hotel Company gives me. I have a gamut of creativity that you can do and do things that's just way beyond the rim, and you can touch the waters and bring the wow factor back without the red tape. So listen, it's a very exciting time. You know, we're here in San Diego, California. We need you guys to come and join us. And I want to meet every one of y'all so we can enhance your culinary careers. Okay. Welcome.
I love that. I love that. I'm just feeling your energy, Chef Rodney. I think any of our students would really benefit from being under your wing. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Not sure if Stephanie Bradley or Lindsay wanted to chime in there at all either.
About the open positions or specifically about culinary?
Yeah, open positions.
We do have, other positions besides the culinary world. We have staff at the front desk. We have housekeeping, room attendants. Obviously in the restaurant, Rodney is speaking more to the back of the house, but there's also the front of the house, which is a lot of the, the guest facing positions. So bartenders, servers, hosts, bussers. Sometimes those positions do cross over from front to back. Sometimes a busser starts getting interested in the kitchen, and then they start cross training them. A lot of times, they'll start doing things like prep work. Like dishwashers sometimes will start doing, various prep work and learning some, menu items, and eventually they end up being line cooks. So within the hotel industry, I think cross training and being able to move around is definitely something that's encouraged. It's not like other corporate jobs where you have a job and that's your department and that's what you do. In hotels, we're happy to have you learn different things. We have lots of employees that, worked in maintenance and moved to housekeeping, vice versa and all around. Start at the front desk and move into sales. But there's a lot of opportunity, and we encourage. You want to learn it, we'll give you the opportunity to learn it.
Yeah, in addition to that, we have a lot of flexibility due to our 24-hour operation. We do have more of the ability to be flexible with students and their schooling schedules. And that is usually ideally the candidates that we do get during our hiring periods, springs and summers. We get people who have a little bit more availability and want to get some cash in their pocket and take that job and get experience. So we definitely are the best employer for that.
Thank you so much. My next question would be what makes a candidate a good fit for your organization? What is it that makes someone stand out as someone that would really do well at Bartell Hotels?
A positive personality. I'm just so happy to hear our counterparts say about they have room to be flexible. With a positive personality, you can do just about anything, right? So I've been a chef for like 20 years, and I'd rather take a person raw, don't know too much of anything, because we can put them in that position and we can mold them into what what he and she or what we're looking for their development in the future. Only with a positive personality you can accelerate that training and developing. So positive personality, being on time, have some fun with it, be creative. Don't be scared to venture out and mistake, because some of the best people make mistakes, because you have mentors like myself that can walk you through the mistakes, and we can also have fun with that also. Training is mistakes, because even in a culinary school, you make mistakes. That's how you become better. You might mess up a dish, And the chef might say, do it again. Like me, I will. Then you have to reinvent that wheel and go back and do it again. And I'm going to say, great job. So positive personality, be ambitious, be willing to be able to learn and pick on real fast and be on time and just have fun with doing what you're doing. That makes your career. That's what I have.
I agree.
Great, Lindsay. Either Stephanie.
I also agree with Chef Rodney. I think personality is huge. It's also appearance is another thing that goes along with personality. You're your own mascot. How are you presenting yourself? So that's big for me. Eye contact is another thing that's really big for me, that shows that you're engaged, you're paying attention, you're ready to learn, and you're ready to accelerate your life. So those points for me are my main 3 points.
Yeah, I think, thank you both. Those are such great points. I do think that Bartell Hotels recognizes the connection between highly motivated employees and providing excellent guest service, which is why we are all here, is to really facilitate that experience for our guests, so that they are able to have an enjoyable time, especially coming out of this last year and a half. People want to have a good time. And so it is our responsibility to do everything in our power to ensure that happens.
Yeah, you know, and when you're saying customer service too, I think it's interesting to point out that the back of the house, a lot of times they think they're not dealing with the customers, but they essentially are, because they're like, the cooks are dealing with the servers that are taking that food out to their guests.
Absolutely.
So the cooks are just as responsible for that server's, you know, mood at that moment. So they're going out in a good mood to that guest, you know. So even if you're not directly dealing with the customer, your actions directly affect what the customer gets.
Definitely sounds like teamwork is essential to all of the functions that you all have. I see.
What is it? Teamwork makes the dream work?
It absolutely makes the dream work. There was a question in the chat, and I want to make sure we address it. Are you looking for a banquet manager or a manager in the banquets department? The student has a restaurant and management, a certificate in restaurant management and associates in hospitality and convention management, and 16 years of experience. Are you guys currently looking for that?
I know we were in Medina, but we are not anymore. I'm not sure about the other properties. Stephanie, were you still?
Yes. So with the fluctuation of being able to open and meet and congregate, we have found ourselves being able to book more events. Obviously, we're waiting a couple of weeks here to see if restrictions are loosened. And then I think we'll be able to know better how we can move forward. But yes, I currently have a part-time banquet captain position open at the Island Palms, at the Southwestern Island Palms. So it's part-time right now, but could turn into full-time depending on how we're allowed to move forward.
So definitely recommend you sending in your resume and application.
Yes.
And to that point, I would also recommend checking the website frequently, because jobs are posted constantly. We don't, somebody might come in and resign tomorrow and we'll be posting a job. So I would get in the habit, if there isn't something there that grabs you right now, look again next week, look again in a few days, because it's constantly changing. It's just, you know, you want to stay on top of it.
Great point. All right. So my last question, and Victor is keeping an eye on the chat for us as well. So how do students apply?
By going to the career page, which I think was I know it's in your flyer, and I think you put in the chat as well, correct? All of the positions for all of the hotels are there. So you can see all of the different jobs that are open. but you can also filter that by property. Like if you know, for example, that you live in PB and you really want to work like at Pacific Terrace because it's walkable or easy commute, you can filter it by the hotel you want to work at, or you can also filter it by the job. So like say you want to go get an entry-level disposition just to get into the kitchens, you can filter it by that and see which hotels are hiring for that. Once you apply for one position, you can complete a profile within the ADP website. And then that makes it a lot easier to apply to multiple jobs because then you kind of already answered some of those questions. You won't have to answer them again. So you can go in there and apply for 10 jobs if you want, and somebody will be calling you. And it's the hiring managers that call, by the way, too. Like it wouldn't necessarily be me or one of the Stephanies that would call. It would be like Rodney that would call for an interview.
And I'm looking forward to talking with you all soon.
I'd like to take the opportunity just to add on there, if I may, to add, when you do find a job that you have applied to reach out to Genesis and Victor and their department, so that they know that you've applied, and we can go ahead and make sure that your application gets in front of the hiring manager as soon as possible.
Awesome. I'm going to quickly share my screen. Actually, Victor, before I do that, are there any other questions that are in the chat for us? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to jump in real quick and share my screen. Just as Stephanie mentioned, we are here to help. If you are applying for any of these positions, if Bartell sounds like a perfect fit for you, we're happy to hear that. And we want to help you in being successful in your application process. So feel free to reach out to us at Student Employment Services. Our email and our phone number is there. Victor and I would be happy to support your application. Make sure you are best representing yourself on your resume and your application. And for more opportunities like this one to connect with employers, follow us on social media. We're posting opportunities regularly for our students as soon as we get them. So follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So I want to thank you all for being with us today. We are so thankful for Bartell Hotels and their willingness to share their opportunities with our students. We are excited to connect you with our recruiters and Chef Rodney, and we look forward to partnering with you. Thank you all so much for your time.
Bye.
And we look forward to working with you.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.